Powdery white sand, crystal clear turquoise water, and sunsets that look unreal. Welcome to Boracay, Philippines, one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Whether you are traveling from Japan, India, or any other place of the world, this guide will help you plan the perfect Boracay trip. Budget friendly, smooth, and unforgettable. No matter where you are traveling from in the world, Asia, Europe, Americas, or the Middle East, getting to Boracay is easier than you think. You just need to know the route. First, book an international flight into the Philippines. Your main gateway will be NAIA Airport in Manila. Alternatively, you can fly into Cebu International Airport, which is often less crowded and more relaxed. For international payment, we use the Wise card. It's simple, reliable, and works across countries with low fees. You can scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the description box to get started. There's also a free transfer up to $400 or a free physical Wise card available. One but very important tip if you are transiting through Manila. At NAIA, the terminals are not well connected. Only Terminal 1 and 2 are close enough to walk, but all the other terminals require a taxi, grab, or airport shuttle transfer. So if you are booking a same-day connecting flight to Boracay, avoid tight layovers. Anything less than 3 hours can be risky. So plan wisely, give yourself enough buffer time to avoid missing your flight. Trust me, this one small decision can save you a lot of stress. From Manila or Cebu, take a short domestic flight about an hour to Caticlan Airport. This is the closest airport to Boracay and the most convenient option. You can also fly into Calibo Airport, which is cheaper sometimes but requires a longer 1.5 to 2 hour land transfer. Then, once you land in Caticlan, your journey isn't over yet. Once you land at Caticlan Airport, getting to Boracay is quite straightforward and you have a couple of options. You will find local transport services right outside the airport, including vans, tricycles, and ferry tickets. They are easy to arrange the spot and fairly affordable. But here's something many travelers don't realize. A lot of hotels in Boracay actually offer complete transfer service at almost the same price, and that's what we choose. Our hotel arranged everything for us from pickup at the airport to drop off at the hotel. They provided private air-conditioned vehicles, access to a less crowded private port area, and handled all ferry arrangements smoothly. Once we reached the island, they even had a vehicle ready to take us directly to our hotel. Honestly, it was super convenient and completely hassle-free, especially after a long journey. So if your hotel offered this service, I would highly recommend taking it. It saves time, avoids confusions, and makes your arrival in Boracay feel seamless. Now, where to stay? Boracay is divided into stations, each with a vibe. Station 1, quiet and luxury. Station 2, lively and central, best for first-timers. Station 3, budget-friendly and relaxed. We stayed at Station 2. After spending about 2 days traveling, flights, transfer, and finally reaching the island and leaving the island, we planned a simple and relaxed itinerary. We stayed in Boracay for 2 full days, which honestly felt just right to experience the highlights without rushing. Of course, if you want a slower pace or more activities, you can easily extend your stay to 3 or 4 or even 5 days. But for us, this 4-day journey, including travel, turned out to be the perfect balance of exploration and relaxation. The heart of Boracay is White Beach, stretching across station 1, 2 and 3. During the day, it's calm and relaxing. By evening, it transforms into a vibrant strip with music, light and beachfront dining. Overall, the island is clean, organized and very safe. Day 1 in Boracay, we decided to take it slow. We found a quiet spot along White Beach and just sat there for hours, doing absolutely nothing. With the sound of gentle waves, soft white sand and the endless blue in front of us, it was the perfect way to unwind after the journey. And of course, we couldn't miss the famous mango drinks. We grabbed fresh mango shake from a small beachside shop near Station 2. Cold, sweet and refreshing. Honestly, it just hit different when you are sitting right by the ocean. Later, we started walking along the shoreline, heading towards Station 3. As we moved further away from the main area, the crowd slowly disappeared. It became quieter and peaceful, almost like we had the beach to ourselves. And finally, we stepped into the water, calm, clear, and incredibly inviting. We just swam, floated, and let time pass by. But as the afternoon rolled in, hunger kicked in. And that's the best part about Boracay. You are never too far from good food. We stopped at one of the many beachside cafes along White Beach, ordered some freshly grilled chicken and a chilled coconut drink. And honestly, you don't need to overthink it here. There are so many cafes and small restaurants lined along the beach. Just go with your feeling. Pick a place that looks good to you, and most of the time it turns out great. Simple food, ocean view, sandy feet, that's what Boracay dining is all about. After a long, relaxing day by the beach, we headed back to our hotel, took a short break for about 2 to 3 hours, freshened up, recharged, because we knew the best part of the day was still waiting. As evening approached, we walked back to White Beach, and this is where Boracay truly shows its magic. The sky slowly starts changing from bright blue to golden, then orange, then shades of pink and purple. The whole beach pauses. People stop walking, sit down and just watch. And while you can simply sit and enjoy, there are some amazing sunset experiences you can try. The most popular one is parasailing, a traditional Filipino sailboat ride. You can book it easily directly from vendors on the beach, through your hotel, or online in advance. Prices are usually quite reasonable, especially if you share the boat. Other activities you will also find here: parasailing during golden hour, short boat cruises, professional beach photographers offering sunset shoot. Most of this can be booked right there on the beach. Just walk up, ask and compare prices. People sitting on the sand, couples walking along the shore, kids playing in the water. street performers getting ready, soft music from the cafes, and the golden reflection on the wet sand. It's not just a view, it's an atmosphere. And while you are soaking all this in, there's one thing you absolutely have to try: the famous Boracay beachside chori burger. Grilled right in front of you, smoky, slightly sweet, a little messy, but full of flavor. It's kind of an iconic sunset snack here. Grab one from any of the beach vendors, pair it with a drink, and just enjoy the moment. As the sun disappears, the beach slowly lights up. You will start seeing fire dancer, live music, and a relaxed nightlife vibe. But even then, it never feels too loud or overwhelming. This is what makes Boracay special. It's not just the beauty, it's how effortlessly the day turns into something unforgettable.
Silver din ganun din. Mas maganda lang.
Day 2 in Boracay started with the most exciting plan, island hopping. We booked our tour through Klook for two of us. But if you are traveling on a budget, you can also join a group tour, which is much more affordable. Hey, we booked this island hopping tour through Klook. You can check both group and private tour prices there. If you book using this QR code on screen or the link in the description box, you will get 500 yen off on your next booking. Our package included a guide and a private boat, which made the experience even more comfortable and flexible. Our first stop was Puka Shell Beach, and this place feels completely different from the main white beach. It's less crowded, more raw, and surrounded by nature. The sand here is slightly coarser, mixed with natural shells, giving it a unique texture. You can swim here, but the waves are stronger compared to station areas, so just be a little careful. There are also some great photo spots here. Locals even help you take pictures for a small tip. And trust me, the backdrop here looks stunning. Next comes the best part of our entire trip: snorkeling. We were taken to the diving area near Coral Garden, and this was our first real experience exploring the underwater world. There's honestly no way to fully describe what we saw. Colorful fish swimming all around us, vibrant corals, crystal clear water. It felt like stepping into a completely different world. And the best part, it felt very safe. They provided life jackets and guides are always nearby to assist us. If you are coming to Boracay, this is a must-try experience. After snorkeling, we headed to Crystal Cove Island. This place is known for its small hidden coves and dramatic rock formations. You can walk around the island, explore narrow pathways, and even go down to the coves. The views from the top are incredible, deep blue ocean stretching endlessly, and the cove added a sense of adventure to the experience. You can walk down into the small hidden coves carved into the rocks. As you step inside, it feels like entering a secret space, water rushing in and out, sunlight peeking through narrow openings, shadows dancing on the walls. The air is cooler, the sound of wave is louder, and everything feels raw and untouched. It's not just beautiful, it's intense. Back at White Beach, we decided to go for one last swim. And this time, we actually spotted quite a few fishes even near the shore. I even tried capture some of them on camera. And just like that, it was time for our one last Boracay sunset. We clicked a few photos just to hold on to these memories a little longer. Before ending the day, we explored the small shopping streets nearby. You will find souvenirs, handmade items, and gifts, all at quite reasonable prices. And that's how our second day and our Boracay trip came to an end. 2 days on the island, but memories that will stay much longer. If you enjoy the journey with us, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Boho Travelog. And let us know in the comments what's your favorite destination in summer. See you in the next adventure.